Whether you're a beginner YouTuber and you're struggling making thumbnails, or you're someone who's been doing thumbnails for a while and is trying to take your click-through rate to the next level, this is for you. This is a masterclass of the ins and outs of how to create the best scroll-stopping thumbnails to ensure you get the best click-through rate possible. I'm going to be showing you some tools that you can use, as well as some hidden tricks that you might not have known before. So, enjoy. As you can see, the original thumbnail, he put 9-year-old catches 10-pound carp. Okay, now, cool, we put 9-year-old in there. I think that's definitely big for this niche. And then catches 10-pound carp. I think 10-pound is definitely a grabber. Here's the thing. My whole issue with the whole thumbnail is I want to have a full image of you with the fish, right? So I want to see them with the fish. So number one, that picture on the side is cool. I would definitely use that, but I think we can do even better and make it blown up. And we like to not put as many words in the title because we want, or in the thumbnail, because we want to show, number one, that we're almost telling a story without having to have you read it, right? We don't want to have to do extra work as a viewer. We just want to know, we're getting an idea of what the video is about. And then when I look at the title, it's going to immediately make me say, okay, this relates. Now I want to click on the video. I want to learn more, right? So yes, it is good because it explains it, but it's a little too much. We want to have 2 to 3 word hooks. We don't want to go past that. So I'm going to show you some examples of things we can do. Now, this is the first thing I would do. And this goes for everyone. I did this on this video right here. I want you to take a screenshot from your video. Now I know this was, but it was cropped in. I want a full size screenshot because there's so much you can do with that. And it also builds that authenticity in that relationship, knowing that I really did take the picture from here. I didn't take it with a cutout behind me so you don't believe I was there, or in this case with just the blue behind. I can tell you definitely did an edit to make it, you know, look not fake, but that you put an edit there. Obviously there's not a real slide outside of a blank blue wall or anything, right? So giving that realistic authenticity is crucial to getting the viewer trust you because you're showing them the proof and then putting that in the video. So that way, once they click on it, they're like, okay, I believe this person. I trust them a little bit more. I'm going to watch more of their video. All right. Now, this is what I would do. So I went to their video and all I did was find a couple spots with some cool images. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So I just scrolled through this timeline until I found some good ones. Okay. Now, obviously one with the fish is going to be the seller, right? So this one right here, I thought this was great. Okay. He's looking up, right? Got the fish here. That thing's huge, by the way. And then you got him holding it, right? That looks awesome. Okay. Now the next one I have, so that's one. We usually do a lot of A/B tests, which is 1 to 2. If you guys don't know what A/B test is, or you don't know much about it, we have shot some videos on that. I'll link it up in the description. But we're going to A/B test this. So this is an example of one which is really good, okay? The 2 people, so you can kind of see the size of the fish. And I believe, okay, yeah, that is definitely a 10-pound fish. That thing is huge compared to the 2 people standing next to it, right? But now let's give another one of the main person who caught it, which is the 9-year-old, right? We want to, you know, emphasize him a little bit. So what I did was took this picture right here. Look at it. It's even though he's covering his face, it's almost the size of his body. It's huge. So now it's giving me more ideas of what I can do. And now it's also building up that story, that curiosity, intrigue, all of that all in one. Okay. So now all I do is I take a screenshot of this and I'm going to show you what I did for my client. I took a screenshot of these 2 pictures that I was able to stop on in the video, and then I put it into Canva. So now let's slide over to Canva. So this is the original one from him, okay? Now, these are the ones I created, and then I'm going to show you how to create them yourself. So this one right here, okay? This is from that first image we kind of stopped on, all right? 9 years old, and then 10 pounds, right? Pretty cool, right? You got the kid there, 9-year-old, and then you got a 10-pound bass, and it definitely, or not bass, but carp, fish. 10 pounds, all right? You can definitely tell by the size. It probably is a 10-pound thing, or a 10-pound fish. And then you got him there, 9 years old. Definitely looks like he's 9 years old. I'm trusting that, right? And it's also cool. I'm on the water. I'm on the boat with you, right? Even without that, if I didn't put the words there, you're still getting an idea of what this is about and telling a story, okay? This is the other one. Rubber worm hack, 10 pounds, right? Because remember, in the title, the thing was about having a rubber worm, right? And how that was able to catch the 10-pound fish, which in some cases, a lot of people don't go with rubber worms. Maybe they need live bait. So this is something that in that space would be like, oh, wow, they did that with a rubber worm. So having rubber worm hack and then highlighting the hack. And then again, we're going to highlight the 10 pounds because we want to show that this is big, right? It's a 10-pound fish. Building more of that curiosity up, building up the little bit of FOMO where they don't want to miss out, right? I don't want to miss out on this hack because next time I'm fishing, I want to catch something that's 10 pounds, right? So how was I able to do this? Especially, I don't know if you noticed this one, guys. I'm going to go back to this. Who do you notice is next to him? This guy, right? This is the same picture. Same picture. That tip's coming a little bit later on how I was able to cut him out. All right, so now let's go back to this one, and I'm going to do it live for you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my uploads. I am going to go to the picture. All right, and I'm going to make this full size. All right, so took the full size. Now what I actually did is I zoomed in even more on this because we really want to emphasize this, right? So want him centered in the middle of that. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this. After I copy and paste, I'm going to remove that background. The background remove right here. So now it's just them and the fish outside of it, okay? I'm going to click back to the background. Now, if you can't get to the background that way, you can go to position, layers, and get to that background. I'm going to go here to edit, and I'm going to blur this thing. Now, I don't want to put it too high, okay? So I've been doing on this one in particular around 16 to 18, so 18 is pretty good. Now I have to line this up, okay? So now if I line it back up, you can see they're more in focus now than the water behind them, okay? And I can even do less if you want a little bit less behind. Maybe I'll put it down to like 15, something like that. Oops. All right, so now we have that. If I lined it up, okay, cool. They're in focus, right? But we're not done. We want to make this look even better because you can see there's a little bit of a blur around them. We want to fix that. So what I do is I hit, now this is on this image, the cutout. I'm going to hit edit. I'm going to hit shadows and drop shadow. Okay, turn the intensity up a little bit, turn the blur up. Now they have that little shadow you can see behind them. Now what I have to do is I have to match this up with their picture. So I'm going to match it up like this, okay? It's a little off, I can see, because his hat is off a little bit, so I might size it. And again, you can always use your mouse like this, or your buttons, I mean. All right, pretty locked on there. That's pretty good, okay? We're not done. We're gonna go back to that background, right? We wanna bring more out, more colors out, contrast, all of that. So I'm gonna go to, back to edit, go into adjust. Now I'm gonna start with my vibrance, turn the vibrance on, we'll get those blues going, some saturation, right? Nice and blue, we got the sky behind, okay? If you wanna change the brightness, I'm not gonna change the brightness on this one, contrast a little bit. All right, good. But again, we want them to be the main focus, so we're gonna now click on them. Now we're gonna edit them as well. Turn the vibrance up, a little bit of saturation. All right, the blacks, brightness, we can make them a little brighter if we need to. I think right there is good. Contrast, not too much. And then we're gonna even do a little sharpness. So you really see that fish, okay? So something like that. So now we have this. So you saw that one I zoomed in actually a little bit more, but you can kind of see the resemblance, right? You see how we did that? Now, I'm gonna take these, so we're gonna add a font. I'm gonna add a text. Heading, you can use whatever font you want. Personally, no gatekeeping over here. We use League Spartan. So I'm gonna use that, and we're gonna do 9 years old. Do all caps. We are going to put that in a white text. Put that in white text, and then go to effects, go to shadow. We're gonna add a drop shadow on this, put it up all the way, make it a black drop shadow like this, add some blur. So now you have that. Now here's a little hack for you too, guys. If you want that to pop even more, you're just gonna copy and paste it and then put it right over and layer it. So you can see it popped a little bit more if I want it even more. I do another one, and now it's pops a little bit more. Okay, same thing with the 10 pounds. I can take the same font. I'm gonna put it over here, 10 pounds. If I wanna size it, make it a little bit bigger, I can. Something like that. Now I'm gonna give you a little tip too. This area down here, we call this the no-go zone, okay? Because right here, there's gonna be a timestamp on your videos when you're scrolling through. When you scroll through these videos, we don't want this to be cut off because then they're not going to be able to read 10 pounds because instead it's going to say however long the video was. So we always stay above this, around the halfway mark and up on this side. This side's free, but this side, we want to keep it at least right here. So that way we know we're not going to get cut off. All right, so I can go here. Again, I can copy and paste it, make it pop a little bit more. Now we're going to bring those arrows in. Go to elements, search up red arrow. I picked this one right here. We don't want it just to be flat like that. We want to give it a little bit of depth. So we're going to go to edit. We're going to go to shadows, drop shadow. Turn that intensity up, blur it. All right, now I can choose which way I want to go. If I want to point to it like this, I can, which I actually am in this one. That was opposite of the other one, but I kind of like that. Something like this. Again, if I want to use that again over here, I can. I don't have to. I'm actually going to go this, and I'm going to rotate a little bit. Yeah, I like that. All right, now I copy and paste it, bring it over here. I can hit flip if I want to flip it. So I can go underneath like this. I might do this. You also, again, you don't have to. If you want to make it smaller too, so it's not too much focus on it, I could do that, which I did that on purpose up here. That was smaller. I didn't want a lot of focus on it. I just wanted to bring a little bit of attention to it. So something like this, because the main focus is the fish, right? 10-pound fish in the middle. That's what I want. All right, so there's that thumbnail. Okay, that's the thumbnail. That's how quick it is. And again, I was doing it slow to walk you guys through it, but it doesn't take that long. And this is all from a screenshot. Now, this one right here. This is also the little trick I was telling you I was going to do, which is how do I get rid of the person next to you, right? Or if maybe it's an object next to you. I could technically get rid of the motor right there in the back. I can get rid of that right now. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's make a new one right here. We're going to go to that exact picture, which is right here. This was the original. So zoom in on that. Like this. A little bit more. Something like this. Now look. He's not there, and you wouldn't know there was ever a guy there. Okay, this is what I did. Click on the image. You are going to go to edit. You can either hit the click button here or just hit magic eraser. Then hit click. And look, you can pick different objects to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of him. So I'm going to click, hit erase. Watch how good this is. Canva is getting insane with how good it is. Look, he's gone. He's gone. And look at the background is there. Like you would have never known there was a guy there. It's insane. All right. Now we got to make it, freshen this up, make it look a little bit better, right? So we're going to copy and paste again, cut that background out. So now we have him with the fish like this, holding that up. Let's go to that background again. We are going to blur it just a little bit. Blur it like again, a 15 maybe. Okay. He's the focus. Actually, let's go back there and let's edit it and give some more contrast. So some vibrance, some saturation. Like I can make it super blue if I wanted to really make it pop like a Mr. Beast style. If I wanted to, I can do that. And then I'm going to go back to him. Now, a couple of things you can do, guys. You could either just edit it that way, where I'm doing it manually through here, or you can test this. It won't work good for every thumbnail, but you can try it on this. Like sometimes it won't even come up. It just depends on how clear it is from the start as far as what they can get an idea of. But right here, I hit image upscaler, hit upscale. It will take maybe 10, 20 seconds, sometimes longer, but usually doesn't take that long. And it's going to pretty much upscale the image. So it's going to make it more of a HD quality from whatever it was at. And you can see the before and after. So watch. Replace. Let's see if it pops up. Yeah, it did. So look, I'll go here and I'll take off. Or actually, you know what we'll do? We'll do this. Go back to this and we'll take the background out, just so you guys see it side by side. Okay. So this is the difference between the quality. Okay, so it's pretty close, but if you zoom in on it, you can kind of see it. Something with the scales in here, right? Everything's a little bit cleaner. In this one, there's a little bit of more blur. It did a better job. And again, it's not perfect, but it's an easier way so you don't have to manually go in and do it. I actually do like the original better, only because the scales on it look a lot more defined. So that's just a tip you can do. If I don't want it, I can just get rid of it and go back a second. That's without it, okay? but I am gonna edit it a little bit, and I'm gonna add a little bit of brightness, not too much. Contrast, that vibrance, saturation, right? Sharpness, that's gonna help those scales kind of pop. Awesome. And if I want a little bit more brightness, I can do that too. Just kind of adjusting it. So something like that. All right, so now you have that. So we went from there to there now, okay? This is the same font as before. I'm just gonna copy and paste just to save some time, but I'm gonna put it over the top like this. So rubber worm hack. Now, again, you don't have to do this either, but I did this just because I thought it would look pretty cool. The thing he's holding, I've made that in the O. And I'm actually gonna show you another trick I did with this as well. So I went here. I wanna emphasize the hack. So I went to Elements. I hit this box, the shapes there. Whoops, it's on the wrong one. Gotta come here. Here we go. The shapes here. So I'm gonna put this behind like this. Get it to size. If it's too rounded, I can unround it a little bit like this. And then we're gonna change that color to a red so it can pop. Like that. Take a little bit off the bottom. Something like that. There you go. So we have that. Okay, now again, I can copy and paste it, make it pop a little bit more. See how it added that little extra blur behind it? Drop shadow. Perfect, right? Now, let me go back to this real quick. Okay, good. So you see how, whoops. You see how right now the little clip he's holding right here is in the O, but it's a little distracting, okay? What I did with this is I just took this image and I just cropped the top so where, if you remember, the image underneath is the blurred. So when I go under, that's gonna be blurred now. So you see how I did that? So now you're not really focusing on what's in the O. If I had it like this, it's a little distracting. You might be like, yeah, I know it's an O, but it kind of, I don't know. Again, this is being a little nitpicky, but it's like, it's a little distracting. Instead, you just put that down so it's the blur. It's not as distracting anymore, okay? Let me move this back so it's lined up. Okay, good. Good. And then again, we're going to add that 10 pounds because we want to emphasize that as well down low. So 10 pounds. Whoops. I'm going to take, again, this is the same stuff from before, guys. So this is why I'm kind of like trying to get through this quick for you guys so you can see it. I'm going to go like this. Might move this over here. Something like that. Rotate it. Copy and paste. Make it pop a little bit more. I can do the same thing too with the arrow. If I want to copy and paste it, make it pop a little bit more, I can do that too. And again, that's as simple as it is. And if you have someone in the background or an object, and I'll show you real quick too. While we're here, we might as well try it, right? Let's go to this image. Let's go to layers. Perfect. We're at the, let's go to this one. This is the new one. No, we want the old one. The old one right here. If I want to get rid of that background again, not the whole background, but if I want to get rid of this motor thing, right, I can click that. I don't know why it went to this color, but I know what it is. I'm going to click it. You know why? It's because I have a blur on. You have to do it without a blur. I forgot to say that. You do have to do it without a blur. But you can see how it's gone. Like, it's pretty clean. Now, I wouldn't do this because then it can't, I mean, you can tell he's on a boat, but kind of not. But if there was something else that was in the way that you didn't want, there's an easy way just to click it and get rid of it. It's such a cool feature. I love it, and it's super easy to do. What you're going to do is you're going to open up ChatGPT. This is a free account, so you don't need to buy any of the premium or any of that. We're going to do this with a free account. And I'm actually going to be giving you all the prompts that I use. So during the video, pause it so that way you can copy my same exact prompt. That way you can go and start doing all of the things that we're doing here on this channel. So the first thing is I want you to take a screenshot of either your channel if you've had some successful videos on your channel, or another channel in your niche that you want to model, that you want to do something similar to, and they're having success on their channel. What you're going to do is you're going to keep that in your phone, because I'm doing this right from my phone. You can do this on your desktop as well. Keep that screenshot because we're going to use that in a second. The first thing we're going to say is you're a YouTube expert that creates scroll stopping thumbnails that have a high click-through rate above 10%. I want you to break down these thumbnails and explain why they perform so well. Now, before I click enter, so that way it gives me all this data, I want to give them the catalog of what thumbnails I'm talking about. So that's where that screenshot's going to come into play. I'm going to take that screenshot that I took of the videos. Now, I'm doing it on our channels, and I took our top performing videos, and I put that in there so that way ChatGPT can keep it around what we've already created, and they can get an idea of the layouts that we like, the formats that we follow. And also, I can learn, why did it do so well compared to the other ones? What was the difference? So after I put that in and I attach the screenshot as you see above, this is what it says. Absolutely, let's break these thumbnails down like a CTR Pro. A few standout patterns emerge from the top performing ones that likely push them above that 10% CTR threshold. All right, so now it went through every video. So in here, I had about 5 or 6 videos that were up in our most popular. So it went through every single one. Now I'm not gonna read through every single one, but I'll start with the first one just so you can kind of see everything that it breaks down. So first, it shows the video, thumbnail text, I didn't listen. Performance, 150K views, 7.1K likes, 7.9K comments. Why it works. This is what I love. It breaks it down so now you can start understanding why thumbnails are so powerful and how certain ones do better than others. The emotional hook, I didn't listen, paired with a stern face and red shirt, instantly triggers curiosity and a sense of regret/failure. Controversy and authority. Exposing YouTube gurus is bold. This challenges authority, which people love. People love when you go against them and you have an opposite opinion. And so it's definitely something that is more click worthy. Contrast and clarity. Black and white background with bold white text pops hard. Easy to read, even small. I want you to take note of that. We use white lettering with a shadow behind it that makes it pop a little bit more. And then we also put a little bit, sometimes we put a box even behind it of red just to give it a little bit more pop. Now, it's not on every video, but sometimes we'll do that if we really want to stick a point out. Last thing, trophy prop, silver play button, instant social proof. It says, I've made it, listen to me. Now, for us on YouTube, yeah, the silver play button, a lot of people will look at you and be like, oh, wow, they know what they're talking about. If you're in the fishing niche, you could be holding up a big bass because now people believe you that you actually caught it rather than just seeing a picture of it behind you that you can tell is definitely fake. We want to see something that's real. So that's why I don't agree with doing just AI generated thumbnails unless you are a faceless channel and you need to. If you can do it yourself because you're face to the camera and you can actually make social proof, having that up there, it just builds trust with your community, and now you're going to start building that relationship with the viewers. Now, after going through all of that, it's even going to tell you common themes that drive the CTR. So it's going to break down in 5 points. What was the common themes between all of those videos? And I love that we were able to do it on our channel because we had some successful videos. So now we can kind of see what was working and why. So high emotion phrases, don't tell, I didn't listen, turn this on. It all created curiosity, which we always talk about, and FOMO. I think FOMO is one we don't talk about enough, but the fear of missing out is so crucial because people want to be like, I need to see that because I don't want to miss out on that. So adding FOMO in there is perfect. Bold red, white contrast. Yes, that is kind of our theme anyway, but red pops, and we've always kind of had better success with red, so that's why we kind of stick with that. Faces and eye contact. We did notice that it's funny that it picked up on that. When we would look away from the camera and do a thumbnail, it doesn't do as good as us looking straight at the camera in the thumbnail. So something to note. Clear narrative hook. Each thumbnail tells part of a story, regret, secrecy, discovery, and that's something I tell everyone. Your thumbnail needs to tell a story before you even add any words. That needs to tell the story of what the video is going to be about, so that way once they click on the video, they know they're in the right place. And last, the proof visuals, so stats, charts, play buttons, reinforce trust and authority. Like I said before, you need to just build that trust up that what they're going to click on is what they're going to get. They don't want to see clickbait. They want to be the real thing. So now it even asks you, if you want, I can help recreate one of your lower performing thumbnails using these techniques. And it's going to try to pretty much help how a lower performing video do better. But instead of doing that, guys, we're actually going to put in another prompt. And this is the same one I want you to put in. And it's actually the same one we're using on this video here. So write me a format for a new thumbnail that follows these techniques and goes with the title. Don't post another video without this AI thumbnail tool. So if you already know, this was the title of this video because I decided to have the title before I shot the video, and now I'm putting it into ChatGPT into this prompt so that way everything can align and I can work on my packaging. So here's what it came up with. Here's a scroll stopping thumbnail format for your title, and it gave me the title. Thumbnail text, big, bold, scroll stopping, game changer. So it wants me to write game changer, big and bold. Short, emotional, and curiosity inducing, triggers FOMO. They're missing out on something huge. Visual layout, even gives you the visual layout. Left side, you facing camera with a surprise or mind-blowing expression. Optional prop, holding a thumbnail image or pointing at it. Right side, split view, before versus after thumbnail. So it's giving you another idea of something you could do. Left could be a blurry basic thumbnail labeled old. Right could be a sharp eye-catching thumbnail labeled AI. Now, you're going to notice in this one, I did one of these. I can't say which one because I haven't created the thumbnail yet, but I did one of these, and it all came from getting the idea from this. This visual proves the tool's impact without needing to explain it. Overlay elements, a red arrow circle pointing at the AI thumbnail. Optional, add a tiny 100% free badge in a corner. Probably not going to be doing that. Background, slightly techie digital with blueprint lines or grid lines to suggest AI tool, but keep it clean, let the main elements pop. There's our color palette, and then it says why this works. Game changer is emotional bait. The before versus after layout visually communicates value in 1 second. The face plus emotion builds connection and intrigue, and the red elements forces the eye to pause, increasing CTR. Again, it asks you want me to mock up a version of this visually or write variations for A/B testing? So if you want to go further, then you can ask them to do that. But instead, we're going to do another prompt, guys. I liked everything that they gave me, and it gave me a good idea of how I want to kind of go forth with this. But I want more options with the text, because sometimes that text, I need to be really curiosity based to where I'm going to get a click, because that's going to be the biggest thing on the video or on the thumbnail is that to pop. So this is what I say. Give me more hook options for the text that builds curiosity in 2 to 3 words. Again, 2 to 3 words is the most important because we want it to be short and concise, but it's big and bold. If I have too many words, it hides everything and people are reading too much. I don't want them to have to read a lot. I just want big, bold, in their face. They have to make a decision. So here we go. Absolutely. Here are curiosity-driven, scroll-stopping, 2 to 3 word title hooks. All right, and here we go. High curiosity / urgency hooks. Must use. Stop now. Insane results. Secret tool. You need this. Don't miss. Use this now. It's here. So we got all of these. Then it goes on and says AI specific curiosity hooks. AI power, auto thumbnail, AI made this, next level, smart clicks. CTR and visual appeal hooks. CTR boost, easy clicks, thumbnail hack, click magnet, more views, click power, right? And it even again says, want me to pair a few of these with different thumbnail concepts or sketch out how they could look on an actual layout? Again, then you can go in here and say, yes, let me do this. Now, that's going deeper into all of that, but with all of this information I just went through in just ChatGPT in the free version, I got a better idea of why these thumbnails performed well, okay, the techniques that were used, and again, you don't have to just use your channel. Use a channel in your niche that's doing really well. We've done that before as well, and let it analyze that. And then you're going to ask them to create one for your upcoming video, putting your title already in there so it gets more information of how they can work their techniques around that. Now you're going to get an idea of how you kind of want to create that thumbnail and the look of it, right? It might give you some good ideas that's going to make you be like, oh, wow, I didn't think of that before. Let me try that. And I think the biggest thing that we use on here is the hooks, right? So having those 2 to 3 curiosity-based hooks, because we might have a couple that we know is like, okay, yeah, they're pretty good. Like the don't tell anyone did pretty good, right? But I could put that in there and it might give me more options or a different option that I didn't think of before. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good too. I might try that, and maybe I'll do it with an A/B split test, right? So going through this whole thing, I gave you 3 prompts that you're going to end up using, and you're going to get all this information on your thumbnails. This is what's going to help you perform better on your thumbnails and get a higher click-through rate. So this is the original thumbnail right here. So trusting or worrying. Again, this had to go with the title, your body will be changed forever. Here's what the Bible says it will be like. Right, so trusting or worrying, okay? So a couple things with this, right? We have a blue background. We have him, looks like he's preaching, okay? I like the emotion in him. I think we can make him a little bit bigger. I think the words are great that it's, big and bold and it's in the red behind it. But again, like we said before, once I click on the video, I would expect to have something with blue behind me, right? I'm going to show you the screenshot I took from it. So I'm going to add this in here. We're going to go to this picture right here. This is a screenshot I took from it. So as you can see, it's not the same setting. Okay. Yes, he's wearing the same thing, but it's not the same setting. I do see the Bible there. That is good, which we're going to talk about that in a second. That's something I would bring as my prop. So right now, without him even realizing it, he has a prop in his hand that he's going to be using in the thumbnail, right? He has the Bible, right? In his title, he talks about the Bible. He's also about religion, right? So Bible is an easy way to do that. So that's the first thing. The next thing is, instead of taking out the background and just doing a straight shot like this, now, yes, you can do that. I wouldn't do it with just a color. I would do it with something that signifies what you're talking about. But in this case, we want to be as authentic as possible. So I don't want to take that out. I want to do something else with it, which would be just blurring the background out a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that. The other thing is we want to have some punchy words. We want him to be up a little bit. And we also want to give some more feeling behind the title. All right. So this is the one I created, and I'm going to show you how I created it. So this is what I created. Okay. Heavenly body. Okay. Couple things I did here. One, you can still see the props behind him to the side. Okay, that is still there. I zoomed in on him a little bit more. He's reading the Bible, so we know it has something to do with the Bible. Heavenly body, putting the word heavenly in there definitely hits the religion, right? And then you have someone kind of reaching out and giving the illusion of heaven, the clouds, all of that, right? And then that orange. The only reason I did that orange was just to give a little bit more contrast and a little bit of pop, but you can kind of do any color. And also, I think that happened to do with the image. Depends on what image you pick, but I did this all in Canva, guys. So this is how you do that. First, took that image right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to take the background out. So now I have a separate background, okay? And actually, before I even do that, guys, we're going to go here and we're going to zoom in already. So we have this zoomed. He's taking up a good 1/3 right now. Now what I'm going to do is copy and paste. I'm going to cut that background out. So now I have that background. Now we want to make this look clean. And guys, if you stay through this, you're going to see exactly how we can make it look crispy even from a screenshot. So I'm going to take this background right here. I'm going to go to effects. I'm going to go to blur. I'm going to blur the whole image. And I'm going to blur it. I stay between 25 and 30, somewhere in there. Okay. So already, right, it's giving him a little bit more authority. The attention isn't on the things behind him. It's with him. Okay. Now I'm going to go to him. I'm going to edit. I'm going to go to adjust. Actually, before I do adjust, we'll get there in a second. We're going to go to shadows. We want to make him pop a little bit. So I'm going to put a little drop shadow on him. All right. Oops. I hit the wrong thing there. The intensity up. We're going to put that blur here. Now we got to line him up so he's covering himself up. All right. And then I might even, let's see, take a little bit of the distance off. Good. I like that. Okay. Good. So we gave him a little bit of pop. So he kind of pops away from the background a little bit. Still, you can tell he's a little fuzzy. We want to make him a little bit better. So a couple things I could do here. Okay. One, I could do an image upscaler. Okay. We'll see how it turns out. I'll try it right now. It doesn't take long to do. This is supposed to make your image just pretty much look like a HD image. Problem is sometimes it doesn't come out clean. So you have to test it out, but I'll show you and we can kind of see. Sometimes it can kind of alter your face a little bit. So for this one, see, it kind of altered it a little bit, but honestly, that's not that bad. That's pretty good. I like that. So already we made him just look a lot better. I'm going to show you the before. See, that's the before. And let's go forward. That's now. So before, now. Okay, so made him look a little bit better. Now, if that didn't work, I'm going to show you another way you can do it as well. But let's just pretend it didn't work. So let's go back. So we have this image still. I'm going to go to edit, adjust. I'm going to go to, I usually start with vibrance always. I want to get that color up a little bit. All right. Now the sharpness. I'm going to bring that sharpness up. Clarity. Bring the clarity in a little bit. Still play with that sharpness. Clarity good. A little bit of saturation, not much. Okay. And that, at this point, I'm really just playing around now, guys. If I want to bring the brightness up a little bit, I can do that. A little bit of contrast, make it pop a little bit more. All right, I kind of just play around with it until I see what I like, right? I want to have something that kind of pops out a little bit, maybe a little bit of warmth. Okay, good. All right, now that's that part. I got him, we got that. couple things I could do here. I could just put words right here and then point to the Bible. I could do that. I could even just highlight the Bible a little bit. But I put this space here for a reason because I wanted to put something else. So what I looked up is I just looked up praying in clouds. I just looked up something, just some words, okay? And we're going to go to photos. We're going to get some ideas from this. Like even this one. If I wanted to have that orange, I could do that orange. Okay, even this isn't bad. I kind of like this. Let's try this one out. We'll try a new one out together. This. Bring this over. This. I like that. Yeah, definitely gives some pop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that position behind. Okay, so he kind of gets in front of that. So I have that. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we can kind of make this transition look good, because you can definitely tell it's a different picture behind, right? We want to make that look a little smoother. So a couple of things I'm going to do. One, do what I did before. I'm going to copy and paste. Cut the background out. So it's just this guy now. I just have this guy. I'm going to go to the image behind it. Guess what I'm going to do, guys? I can also go here. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to blur it. I'm going to go here, blur that up around the same. I think it's around 26. Okay. So now I have a little bit of blur behind it. This guy's still looking good there. Now what I can do, it doesn't look bad. Now what I can do too, and I play around with this, is I type in fade. Actually, usually it's fade middle. Now you can get some ideas of kind of fading the background. So I can go like this. It gives a little bit of that fade. Again, I'm going to put it behind both of these images now. So it gives a little bit of fade behind it. So it looks like a better transition in rather than a hard line like that. Okay, giving that fade just makes it look a little bit better. Okay, so there's my fade behind it. Now, the last thing, if I can either keep it like this, but if I want to put those words, which I got to remember, what did I do here? I said heavenly body. Let's use that again. And actually, I'll show you how to do it. So you're going to go up here to text. Heading, I always pick something bold. We usually use League Spartan, but you can use whatever. Okay, we'll do the same thing. We'll do heavenly body. Whoops. Heavenly body. There we go. I always put this on white, and then I put effects. I'm going to put a shadow behind it. A shadow, we're going to turn to black. We're going to turn the transparency up. We're going to add that blur. Now, make this big and bold. Big and bold. All right, don't want to cover him up though. So like this probably. And now a little hack for you. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Okay. Now it gives a little bit more pop to it. And again, if I want to add a little bit more, I can do this. Red arrow. This just brings more attention to what I'm trying to show. All right, so I'm going to bring more attention here. This. Again, guys, we're going to go here. We're going to add that shadow. Always a drop shadow. Intensity up. Blur it a little bit. Okay. Play with the angle of that. And there you have it. Okay, so it's that simple. It is that simple that I can make this look like a pretty good thumbnail that's going to stop your scroll at least, right? So we went from this to this. We even have this as an option, okay? We have a couple different options. You can see on this one I zoomed in even more. And then I actually like the whitish blue background because it kind of blends with the other background better than the orange over here, okay? So I did that, and that little sun ray, even that little thing, gives more pop to it to where it kind of stops my scroll. So this is the original. This is what I created after it. What do you guys think? Couple things I changed as well. I changed the title. So it went from before it was all going great until. Wasn't niched down enough. And title is the number one thing, guys. Before we even share with this the thumbnail, the title's number one because that's what sparks the impressions. YouTube will give you impressions once you have a good title. If you don't have a good title that's clear for the audience it's supposed to go to, you're not going to get any impressions. Hence, you're not going to get any views because you're not going to get clicks if you don't have impressions. If you want more impressions and you want these good titles, this is actually an outlier title that I found and I reconstructed and made it into his niche. If you guys want, I actually have 10 of these that I've created. Just comment hooks down below and I'll send you. It's totally free. 10 of the best ones that have worked on our channels and multiple other channels as well. Again, just comment hooks and I'll send you that. So this is the one that I did. It is this one mistake almost ended my farm build. Avoid this. All right. And look at, he's down there on the ground. He's got the excavator right there. He's got a tool out trying to do something to it. It looks like something's wrong with the track maybe, right? Super vibrant, a lot of contrast, and it just gets my attention. And it makes me want to go to the title. And then when I get to the title, then that confirms everything that we talked about. This one mistake almost ended my farm. Wow, that's a punchy statement. I got to see what this video is about. Okay, so we went from this, okay, not bad, but to this. Even just the contrast alone, you can kind of see the difference of why you might click on this one over that one. Now, I'm going to show you how you can do this right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a brand new one. This is the actual one that I did. I'm going to show you how I got to it. This is the original image, guys. So wasn't bad. This is a screenshot that I took from the video. He didn't even give me this. I just took it from the video. So you can see a little bit of the difference right now, okay? Still not a bad thumbnail, but we got to bring more of that contrast. Okay, so there's a couple things I'm going to do. First, I want him to get a little bit clearer, and I want to bring a little bit of attention to him in the whatever tool it is that he is using. Because you can see right here, it's a little kind of blurry in a sense. And you look here, it's polished, it's bright, right? Big difference. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy and paste this whole image right here. I'm going to go to background remover. It's going to cut him out. So he is now cut out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here is I'm going to add a shadow behind him. Add a little drop shadow. Bring that intensity up and then bring the... Okay, so now I just have to size him to match. So that way we can cover him up. His original thumb's right there. Somewhere. Yeah, right about. Looks pretty good. Okay. Now, a couple things I'm going to do. I'm going to go down here to image upscaler. Okay, it's the butterfly. It's in apps. When I click on this, what it's going to do is, and now it won't always come out perfect. Okay. For this image, it did work really good. It's going to enhance the image. So it's going to take it, even if it was a blurry image, it's going to make it as enhanced as possible to where it's almost like a 4K. All right. So I'm going to upscale it. Just click it. It's going to take probably about 10-15 seconds. It's going to end up being, again, nice and just high quality. And that's how, honestly, you can get that Mr. Beast style without even having to really do many of the nitty gritty edits. It kind of just does it for you. So all I'm going to hit is replace. Replace. I'm going to see now he's enhanced. You can see this was the before to the right, and this is the after. You can see how it just gives more to it. It's more defined. It's more bright, vibrant, clean, right? High quality. So I'm going to use that now as my image. Let's go right here. Now I still got it. I'm a little off. I got to get lined up. Close. Goes right about there. Perfect. All right, good. So now he's kind of popping, right? But now we need that background to give a little bit of contrast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the background. And now the other way you can do that is go to position and layers, and I can click on that background one. I'm going to start enhancing this. So I'm going to go to my adjuster. First thing is that vibrance. Right now I could bring it up all the way, and I might bring it pretty close. I'll probably bring it down just a little bit. That saturation too. Like, look, I could go all the way up to here, but that looks a little too cheesy, a little too fake. So I kind of am just going to play with these numbers, right? So I'm going to play with this here. Then I'm going to go to clarity. I can change the clarity on that as well if I want it to be super sharp like that, which I don't want it to be. I kind of want it to be a little softer like this. Change the blacks a little bit. The contrast, that's going to give me a little bit of a more realistic feel, right? Because if it was down here, you see how it kind of just takes it out. Doesn't look as, it doesn't enhance anything to where it makes it like pop off the screen. When I hit that contrast, like, now that's obviously too much, but you can see it's super detailed, right? Like all the tracks super detailed, but now it's too much. You can tell with the mulch and everything. But if I go back to right around in here, good little happy, right? Okay, we're pretty much close, guys. And then the last thing I'm going to do, again, I can play with the brightness a little bit. I can add a little bit here of the warmth. Okay, now that just depends. Like if I was in a different setting and it was more blue, I could go with blue. Because we're using yellow, I'm going to give it just a little bit of warmth. And then again, I can play a little bit more down here and give me maybe a little bit more this. Okay, so now that's it. Like that's all I had to do was kind of just mess around and play with it a little bit, but that is all I had to do. And we went from the original, which let me add that so you guys can kind of see that side by side. Actually, I'll show you side by side because I have one here. Here we go. So we have the original image to the left and then the new and enhanced one to the right. Not much difference. Like as you can see, it's the same pretty much image. I didn't do anything crazy. I just enhanced everything on the image to make it look clearer, make more contrast. I mean, when you have anything with yellow in it too, you can easily make that pop, right? The tracks, just enhancing the tracks, look at how much more of the dirt you can kind of see on it. Even on here, a little bit of like that orangish look gives it just more pop. The darkness around here. I love the gun thing that he's using right here, that drill thing. That already looks way better. And then him, again, being a little bit more high def. Even a little bit of that red, just like the rags behind him with the red. It just makes everything pop. All right? So now I'm sure you're dying to know, okay, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with me. But what tool are you talking about? How can I make this the most clickable thing possible? Well, there's a tool that I've been testing that I just started using. It is called Test My Thumbnails. And what you can do on here is you can actually drop it into this thumbnail rater. So, and here's a cool thing. They have a couple free as well. So like you can have like a free version of this. And as you see right here, you can get 2 analysis for free each day, which is awesome. All you do is drag your image, that thumbnail in here, and then it'll give you the results. So I already did it in here. This was the results. It gave me an 8 out of 10. And then it gives you a breakdown of everything. The faces, okay, it tells me kind of what expression I had or what I was wearing. So the headwear on here, obviously a hat. Intrigue, right? What kind of facial expression did I have? Then these are just the colors and the contrast that I used in it. The objects, right? 93% person, hat, 79%, right? All this, labels. So what understanding did they get from this? You also put your title in there and your description, so it kind of gets an idea. And now these are all the people around, which is what I want around kind of what I'm creating in the thumbnail. So now the reason this is important is because if this relates to your video, now it's showing that, okay, the people around this are in the right spot, right? They see this, they're probably one of these people and they're in the right spot, right? So that's good. So that means that's the packaging, it all aligns. And then if you go down, it'll give you suggested thumbnail improvements, right? And it gives you 5 of them. Clear visual on the equipment, incorporate text highlights, show emotion, use compelling background, add whatever, right? It even gives you some suggested titles. Now, I don't go off of these. I go off of the outlier titles because they do perform better than these. These are just kind of like basic ones that they give you. And again, if you guys want those outliers, I have 10 of those. Comment hooks and I'll send you them. And then it gives you the checklist, right? Was it, the right pixels, width, ratio, all that, and the type and all that, okay? So you can do 2 of those free a day. Now, that's not the coolest part. The coolest part is now let's see how it compares with other people in my niche. Under that is Thumbnail Previewer. When I click on this, I can add in my thumbnail. I can add in the title to it. I can put it in dark mode or light mode, so I can switch it, dark or light mode. And I can shuffle it around. And I can also type in my niche so I can see what it is around my niche. This is also in the free version. The only thing I think you can't do with the free version, I think you get a certain amount of searches you can do, or maybe you can't do a search. I think it'll just show you with random ones. And then I don't think you can put your title. But you can see right here, free. You can even do a free YouTube AI thumbnail maker too. You can put your channel name as well. And I have mine synced, so that's why that shows up. But when you scroll now, you can see how it matches up with other ones. All right, and see if it does stand out. You can even shuffle it. So when I hit shuffle, it'll be in a different place now. All right, so it kind of moves around. So you can kind of see how it stands out. The one thing I can already tell you why this one stands out. Let's see if you guys picked up on it. What do you notice about this one compared to all the other ones? All right, some of these are good. Like this one's not bad, but you can tell it's definitely cut out. Look at 7 million views though, right? One thing stands out the most is the color, right? All of these are green. Okay, so if I did one with green, yeah, I can make it look good, but I'm going to blend in with a lot of people talking about building a farm from scratch, right? Just adding that yellow in there made it pop out of everyone else's. This one has a little bit of it, but not much, right? So already that makes me pop out of all these people. And then you can always hit load more too, and you can get more ideas as well. And I believe this shuffles around, yeah, where it is. So now it's down here. You can kind of see it if I hit shuffle. You can also look in the mobile version. So this is what it looks like when you're scrolling mobily. This is what it would be. See, there it is. And then let's see what this is. Yeah, if you have two kind of like on a sidebar. And then in search, if I was looking in search, how would it come up? How would it look? Okay, so this tool is amazing. Again, it is Test My Thumbnails. And I actually have an affiliate link for it. You'll help me buy a cup of coffee. I love my my cold brew coffee. If you guys want to get that for me, go ahead and go to the link in the description. All those links are there, as well as everything we use on this channel. This person right here in our 1K collective is a female drone pilot. Teaches pretty much women how to be drone pilots and how to learn different things. Pretty much an educational kind of channel. And this was the thumbnail. Now this thumbnail isn't bad by any means, okay? But there is reasons why this click-through rate wasn't as high on this video and how we can get it better going forward. So the first thing, which they actually did a great job of, is you want yourself to take up, if you're putting yourself in the thumbnail, you want to take up 1/3 of the image, okay? Which they did in this. So right now, check. They did a great job on the first part. They took up 1/3 of that, so it really pops out. So when the thumbnail is smaller, whether it's on mobile or on desktop, you pop because you're taking up such a big area of the thumbnail. So that is great. Now the second part is what you're bringing the attention to. So in this case, it's to a drone, okay? Now, here is my issue with this thumbnail and how I'm going to show you what we're going to do to tweak it. But you can see the thumbnail right here where the drone is down where she's pointing to, down to the right of the thumbnail. You can see it's kind of hard to see because in the background, there is some other objects that kind of blends in with. And so it makes it very hard to see, especially, imagine this is blown up right now. Imagine this was a smaller thumbnail. Once you're scrolling through, it's gonna be very hard to see that that is a drone. So we wanna emphasize that and make that even bigger. I like to say 3 points of contact, right? Yourself or whatever the main thing is, the thing you're addressing, so the things you're going to bring attention to, which in this case would be the drone, and the third thing we're going to talk about in a little bit. Now, the drone, what I would do in this is I'd blow that drone up, make it a lot bigger, so that way we know exactly what we're talking about. And I'm going to show you again how to do this all step by step, but first we're just going to go through the 3 areas that we need to be fixed. Now, the last part, the third one, is all the words we put in here. So she put a lot of words in here. Yes, it describes what the video is about, but the problem is it's so much reading, it's not really scroll stopping to the effect of it makes me want to click on the video. Instead, it just seems like it's giving me more information about the video. I want to tell a story with my thumbnail to where it has some curiosity built in it that makes me want to go read the title. Because even though we always say to put a great title first, because titles is what ultimately leads to impressions, which speaking of, if you're not using outlier titles, you need to do it. That's how you get more impressions. And we actually have a swipe file with 10 of the best outlier titles that we've used. Comment hooks down below and I'll send you it. She actually used one of our outlier titles. But anyway, with the outlier titles, that is going to help you with your impressions. So it's great to have impressions, but now you want to have that thumbnail, right? Because here's the thing. I want you to think of it like this. When you're scrolling, what's the first thing you notice? Is it the title or is it the thumbnail? It's going to be the thumbnail, all right? So you're going to notice that first. But after you do that, your eyes are going to now go to the title to make sure everything lines up. We call this packaging, making sure it all aligns and builds more of that curiosity, but also makes me want to click on the video. So if I don't have that in the thumbnail first, I'm not even making it to the second part, which is reading the title. Once I read the title, if I get to that part, that's sealing the deal to make sure that it's going to get me to click ultimately, right? So for this, in this case, if I was a female drone pilot, maybe I'll click on this, but it still isn't building up enough curiosity. So what we do to build curiosity is we usually use a hook of 2 to 3 words that is super curiosity based. So something like I'm shocked, watch out, beware of this, like different things like that. That's ultimately going to have people thinking, oh, what is this about? And then when they go to the title and relates to what that curiosity based keyword was or that hook was, now they're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I want to see what this is about, and I'm going to click on the video. So I reconstructed this whole thumbnail, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm actually doing it in Canva. Now, again, this is not a bad thumbnail by any means. I think it's actually a pretty good thumbnail. However, I think we can do a lot of different things to make it better. So that way it's a no-brainer that's going to, number one, stop the scroll. Number two, build that curiosity that I want to see what this video is about. So I'm going to show you what the end product is, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So this is what I created. Okay, so wish I knew. So actually, I'm going to show you the comparison. So we have this, 5 things to learn as a female drone pilot. And then we have this, wish I knew, okay? Again, arrow going to a drone. So the wish I knew, that's my hook, right? Wish you knew what, right? You're thinking, wish I knew what? And you're flying a drone, and then I go to your title and it says 5 things I learned as a female drone pilot that you don't want to miss, or something like that. All right, now I want to click on the video, right? So that's that packaging where I'm kind of, and this is where, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's like clickbait, blah, blah, blah. It's not clickbait, okay? It's clickbait is if I don't deliver on this promise. If I don't tell them the 5 things they're going to learn in the video, then I didn't deliver on the promise. And wish I knew, you're going to tell them tips that you wish you knew earlier when you were learning to be a drone pilot, right? So this is a perfect example of how I would add this curiosity into a thumbnail like this. Now, you don't have to do what I did here as well. I also didn't have her original image. So what I did is I just took from here, and I'll show you how to do that. And then I just made it my own, and I put it a different background. Now, you don't have to do a background like this. I only did it, again, because I didn't have access to the other one without the text. However, I do like the one I picked better only because when I think of drone, I think of outside, right? I think of flying in the air. So when I see the blue skies and I see some green, it makes me think, okay, we're talking about the sky, we're talking about outside. This makes sense. When it's inside, it's kind of hard for me to envision this because I'm inside of a room. So just something to think about. So now I'm going to share with you how we do this. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to her original thumbnail that she created. Okay. I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit background remover. So now she is cut out. All right. Now I'm going to make that background. So all I did was go to elements, and then I have it here, but I just looked up like blue sky outdoor background, something like that. And then you can find a bunch of different ones in the photos. Okay, so like I could pick something like this. I kind of want to pick one that's more realistic looking. And again, you can just keep scrolling through. They have a bunch of different ones. I mean, I could even done this. That's square though. I'd want it to be more of a horizontal, so it's easier to kind of do stuff like this. So I could even do this one if I wanted. All right, so now if I do this and I can change my position, go to layers, put her in front like this. Doesn't seem realistic enough, right? It seems like I definitely cut her out and put her here. So what I do is I take that background image and we're going to put a blur on it. So I'm going to go to blur under edit. I go to blur, go to whole image. I usually put it around in the 30s. So let's just do 32. Okay. So now I have that blur behind me. Okay. So now your focus isn't on the background as much. It's on me now. Now I can still kind of see it looks like I cut her out and put her there. So to make this look a little bit better, I click on her. I'm going to put edit. I'm going to go to shadows, drop shadow. Bring that intensity up all the way. Now this blur, we're going to bring this up to make it look a little bit more realistic. All right. And I can size this up. Again, we want to take up 1/3. So something like this. Okay. I even might take a little bit. Okay, we'll size it like that. All right, now I'm going to go here and I'm going to add that drone. So it's fun. I had a controller too in case we want to do a controller. But you can take any image and whether you find it in here or you bring it in, drop it in. Like I used this one that I found. And all I did was trim this up, hit the background remover. And now I have my drone that I can move around. Okay, so I just sized this up. So again, it really pops. You know we're talking about a drone now. I did the same thing that I did before with her with the shadow. So I'm going to add a shadow. Always do a drop shadow. Turn the intensity up, turn the blur up like this. Just makes it pop a little bit more, gives it a little bit more emphasis. Okay, so something like this. All right. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to add those words. Okay, so you can go to text, go to add heading. All right, so wish I knew. Something like that. Okay, now I always do white with a stroke around it or a drop shadow of the black. So you can do it whatever font you want. Usually we do around like a League Spartan. Just has a nice bold. We like the bolder one just because it's easier to see and it kind of pops. Go to effects here. You're gonna go to shadow. Turn the transparency up. Okay, I'm going to make this black so you can kind of see it. We're going to turn that blur up just kind of like before. So now we have a little bit of that pop off. Okay, so it looks like this. And a little hack too, guys. If you just take this and you want to pop more, copy and paste it. You can just put it over top. It makes it stand out a little bit more. Okay, next, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put that arrow now. So I just look up red arrow in the elements tab. And go under graphics. You can pick any of these. Okay, so let's say I pick this one. I can go here and flip it if I want it to go the other way. So something like this. I can do something like that. I might even make it smaller. Something like this, like that. Now, I can leave it like that, but I want to make that pop a little bit more. So I'm going to do the same thing we did before, guys. We're going to add that shadow. Go to edit, go to shadow, drop shadow, transparency. Blur it. Okay, so it makes the arrow pop a little bit more. If I want to pop it more, I copy and paste, add it up there like that. Okay, wish I knew. Now I brought the attention here, right? So we have our 3 points, right? We have her, we got the drone, we got this. If I wanted to, I could always add the controller. Again, I'm just going to hit the background remover on that. I can add this right here. And then I would even add a shadow on that as well. Again, this is if I just want to add this in there because I'm talking about this in the video. I might do something like this. Then I can add that in here. Now, I will say, biggest thing is when you're putting any sort of text or even something you're trying to bring attention to, stay out of this bottom right corner because there is a timestamp on that on YouTube. So this will get covered up. And so if I had words down here like this, pretend this controller wasn't here, you wouldn't see like probably the E and the W, maybe not even the N. So it'd be very hard for you to read. So we stay out of that bottom right. So everything usually goes to the left. If we put the person, we just make sure it's not their face covered up down here. That's why we blow them up and make them go on this side up higher up. But yeah, so simple as that. That's how I turned it from this to this. It just pops a lot more, just a lot more. Okay. So I'd get rid of all the extra text. I'd make this pop with the main thing you're talking about. And then again, if you want to get fancy and put a background behind it, you can. And there's also, if you can't find an image on here either, you can use AI in Canva to do that as well. And if you guys want to see a video on that, put in the comments and I'll be happy to do a video for you guys. Wow. Well, I hope that masterclass helped you, went through a bunch of ins and outs of Canva, some other tools, everything to take your thumbnails to the next level and make them scroll stopping. So I hope this helped. If you're struggling with titles, I actually have a playlist over here of how you can get more views using titles. Go ahead and check those videos out over here, and I'll see you there.